On the endless plains, a saga of life is written anew each day. But every step is shadowed by a hungry presence always just out of sight. And across the savanna, a roar thunders, asserting a power that cannot be denied. Among giants, silent assassins, who is the true ruler of this land. As the waterholes begin to dwindle, so too does the space for the creatures that live within them. To stay cool, a hippopotamus must spend nearly all day submerged, but this pool is now dangerously overcrowded. Something has to give. This bull has been ousted and must find a new bathing pool somewhere with more room. But with water now so scarce, he may have to travel nearly 31 miles to find a place to call his own. The journey will be perilous. Some pools are already claimed, and the resident bulls are not inclined to share. Defeated, he is forced to move on. The next waterhole is under the dominion of a pride of lions. But the hippo is not prepared to be driven away a second time. He is prepared to make a stand. This is now a battle for territory. The lions are wary of this aggressive, 2,866 pounds behemoth, keeping just close enough to taunt it. But the hippo gapes its jaws, a clear warning that a single bite could crush a skull or pulverize a cub. The victor is clear. This waterhole now belongs to him. Olduvai Gorge, an arid yet vibrant land in the eastern Serengeti, is where the spotted hyena demonstrates its remarkable adaptability and its essential role in the local ecosystem. The evolutionary history of the spotted hyena can be traced back more than 10 million years, when the Hyenidae family began to diversify, producing a smaller yet more resilient and tenacious hyena species. Of those, only about 15% are found in East Africa, including the Olduvai Gorge area. The The spotted hyena is primarily nocturnal, using the cover of darkness to move discreetly across vast territories. They find food mainly through their ability to smell carrion from a great distance. However, when circumstances demand, they can also actively hunt to survive. The spotted hyena possesses a remarkable digestive system, allowing it to consume bones, decaying flesh, and organic matter that most other species cannot. During the dry season, the spotted hyena faces even harsher survival challenges. At water points, confrontations occur more frequently, especially as spotted hyenas compete for food or water with other predators. In Olduvai Gorge, especially during the dry season from June to October, water becomes nature's most precious resource. Streams like the Olduvai stream gradually dry up, leaving behind cracked earth and a few scattered small pools. As the largest terrestrial animal, reaching heights of up to 13 feet and weighing over 12,000 pounds, the African elephant not only needs to maintain a huge daily food intake, but also faces a major challenge in finding drinking water. In such arid conditions, the African elephant utilizes one of its most versatile and powerful tools, its trunk, which is over 6 feet long. This trunk, with over 40,000 muscle bundles, not only helps them get food and drink water, but is also used for digging to find underground water sources. The dry stream beds become places where elephants use their trunks to detect moisture in the soil, and with the help of their feet, they dig deep to create precious water wells, not only saving themselves, but also providing a chance of life for many other species. The water wells created by African elephants become a shared source of life for many surrounding creatures. From zebras and antelopes to birds like the African fish eagle, all come to these places to quench their thirst thanks to the efforts of the elephants. This action clearly demonstrates the special ecological role of elephants as natural engineers, helping to maintain the water cycle in an arid and harsh region like Olduvai Gorge. With a need for about 50 gallons of water per day, an elephant must travel dozens of miles in a single day to find enough water and food. Thanks to their extraordinary memory, they can remember the exact location of water sources they have visited before helping the entire herd survive the harshest dry seasons. In this constant search, each individual can consume up to 300 pounds of vegetation per day. Their tusks, which can be up to 10 feet long, allow them to strip the bark from acacia trees or break branches to access the nutrients inside that most other species cannot reach. When the dry season reaches its peak, the remaining water sources become gathering hubs for many large species, leading to inevitable confrontations. Elephant herds often have to face lions, buffalo, and even hyenas to protect the water wells they have found or dug. However, thanks to their size and herd lifestyle, African elephants usually have a distinct advantage securing water for the entire herd during the most difficult months of the year. Against the backdrop of arid canyons and semi-arid grasslands, the silhouette of the Masai giraffe, which can stand nearly 20 feet tall, stands out on the landscape with a blend of elegance and strength. The decline in their numbers is mainly due to habitat loss from agricultural expansion, the impacts of climate change and poaching. The global giraffe population has significantly decreased, and areas like the Serengeti are becoming one of the last strongholds for this species. The evolution of the Masai giraffe has taken place over millions of years, originating from a common ancestor of all modern giraffe species. Through natural selection, they developed a long neck and tall legs, allowing them to access high foliage that other animals cannot reach. This advantage has helped them survive and thrive on the vast savannas and in the bushlands of East Africa, where competition for food is fierce. Today, the Masai giraffe is found mainly in Tanzania and Kenya, with a strong presence in the Serengeti and the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, including the Olduvai Gorge region. With its small streams and characteristic vegetation like the umbrella thorn acacia, this area provides an ideal habitat for them. Their high adaptability to arid conditions allows them to survive even when water and food are scarce, especially during the long, dry months. In Olduvai Gorge, giraffes spend most of their day feeding on the leaves at the tops of bushes. They use their long necks and flexible tongues, which can extend up to 18 inches, to pull on branches, then use their lips to gently pluck the young leaves. The umbrella thorn acacia, with its wide canopy and sharp thorns, is their main food source. Those thorns are no obstacle for the Masai giraffe. A thick, darkly pigmented tongue and tough lips allow them to easily push the thorns aside and access the leaves within without injury. On average, an adult can consume up to 75 pounds of leaves per day to meet its energy needs due to its large body size. Its height not only provides a feeding advantage, but also allows it to spot danger from a great distance. With a wide field of vision, they can survey their surroundings and promptly detect the presence of predators such as lions or leopards. When they feel threatened, they use their powerful front legs for defense, capable of delivering kicks strong enough to repel even a lion. However, the role of the Masai giraffe extends far beyond individual survival. By browsing on high foliage, they help control the overgrowth of shrubs, like the umbrella thorn acacia, preventing these plants from shading out and killing lower-growing vegetation. Thanks to this, the balance between grasslands and bushlands is maintained over time. As they move through the woodlands, giraffes also contribute to seed dispersal, creating conditions for new vegetation to form, improving soil structure and supporting the regeneration of the ecosystem. Standing out against the hot, arid ground, the Grant's gazelle appears with a compact and agile body. It is the embodiment of speed, endurance, and adaptability to harsh conditions. Each of its strides seems to move in rhythm with the breath of this semi-arid land, affirming its irreplaceable role in the diverse ecosystem of the Serengeti. An evolutionary trajectory spanning millions of years has shaped the Grant's gazelle's ideal form for survival in a challenging natural environment. Ancient fossils found in East Africa show that its ancestors gradually began to adapt to semi-arid environments, developing speed and a lightweight body with an average weight of 88 to 180 pounds. Their lyre-shaped horns, 12 to 14 inches long, are not only a defensive tool but also a reflection of their status within the herd. In Olduvai Gorge, they are often found along valleys and open plains where there is plenty of food and the necessary space to fully utilize their speed. This area, with its sparse vegetation and acacia-like shrubs, provide stable and suitable living conditions for this gazelle species. Grant's gazelles live in groups of 10 to 30 individuals, forming flexible herds during their search for food and movement. They are typically active in the early morning and late evening, avoiding the hottest hours of the afternoon. Their diet consists mainly of nutritious grasses and drought-resistant shrubs. During the dry season, when resources are scarce, they can eat dry, tough plants, utilizing the moisture in their food to reduce the need for drinking water directly. Speed is the Grant's gazelle's most important survival tool in a natural environment full of risks. It can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, allowing it to escape dangerous predators such as cheetahs, lions, or hyenas. When pursued, they use a zigzag running tactic to make it difficult for the predator. Large eyes combined with keen hearing allow them to detect danger from afar, while the cohesion of the herd increases the chance of survival for each individual. In the ecological cycle of Olduvai Gorge, the Grant's gazelle plays an important role in controlling plant density. They graze on grass and low-lying plants, helping to prevent the overspreading of shrubs, thereby maintaining the balance between grassland and bush. The areas they pass through often become favorable places for the growth of new vegetation, providing life opportunities for many other species. Furthermore, as prey in the food chain, they contribute to maintaining nutritional stability for the large predators in the area. When the dry season begins, food sources become scarce, and Thompson's gazelles are forced to move in large herds to find areas with fresher grass, often accompanying other migratory species like wildebeest and zebras. With a light body weighing between 35 and 64 pounds and an average height of about 2 feet, it is a symbol of agility and outstanding adaptability to harsh living conditions. Over millions of years of evolution, the Thompson's gazelle has developed an optimal body structure to adapt to its arid and dangerous environment. Long legs and flexible muscles allow it to reach a top speed of up to 50 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest animals on the planet. This ability is not just an essential survival tool, but the result of a long process of natural selection in which speed is a key factor for survival. Thompson's gazelles typically live in small groups of 10 to 50 individuals, but during the breeding season, their numbers can increase significantly, forming larger herds. They have a highly organized way of moving and maintain constant vigilance, which helps reduce the risk of being attacked by predators. Each individual contributes to observing the surroundings, acting as an early warning system for the entire herd. When faced with danger, they employ a zigzag running tactic, using their superior speed to evade predators like cheetahs, which are faster but have less endurance. In the Serengeti ecosystem, the Thompson's gazelle plays a central role in the food web. It is the primary food source for many large predators such as lions, cheetahs, and hyenas, especially during the breeding season when the young are most vulnerable. The fawns, with their light brown coats and characteristic black stripes, often hide in the grass to avoid detection. This camouflage strategy helps increase their chances of survival during the perilous first weeks of life. The Thompson's gazelle primarily feeds on short, high-nutrition grasses, but in difficult conditions it can eat low shrubs and dry grass. Its ability to absorb water from plants allows it to survive without needing to drink frequently. In doing so, they help control the overgrowth of vegetation, creating space for new plant species to grow. This maintains the balance between grasslands and bushlands, while improving soil quality, which supports the development of other animal species. When the rainy season arrives and brilliant light floods the grasslands of Ndutu, the image of plains zebra herds moving in lines across the vast land becomes particularly vivid. An estimated 200,000 zebras gather in this area during the peak of the migration. Their black and white striped coats confuse predators' vision when they move collectively, and also reduce the likelihood of being attacked by harmful insects. The plain zebra is found in many parts of eastern and southern Africa. However, on the southeastern plains and in Ndutu, they find their most favorable habitat. With an average elevation of about 4,000 feet above sea level, the area's short grasslands and low vegetation provide a stable, year-round food source. Rainfall during the wet season from November to May reaches about 20 inches annually, enough to regenerate the vegetation and attract some 200,000 plain zebras to feed and breed. Their social life is organized into small groups, typically consisting of a dominant stallion, a few mares and their foals. During the breeding season, these groups may merge into larger herds with a very cohesive social structure. Unlike wildebeest, which breed during a specific period, plains zebras employ a flexible year-round breeding strategy. This reduces competition for food and distributes resource use over time. The gestation period lasts from 12 to 13 months, and usually only one foal is born per litter. Just hours after birth, the foal can stand and walk, quickly integrating into the herd to increase its chances of survival in a harsh environment. In the ecosystem of Ndutu and the southeastern plains, the plains zebra plays a fundamental role among herbivores. They graze on the upper layers of grass, allowing species like gazelles to access the shorter grass growing beneath. Their continuous grazing helps control vegetation and maintain the stability of the grasslands. Furthermore, their dung enriches the soil and creates a habitat for many insect species, contributing to a closed ecological cycle. To survive in an arid and threat-filled environment like the southeastern plains, the plains zebra needs outstanding survival skills. It can reach speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, allowing it to escape predators like lions or cheetahs. When attacked, the herd often scatters in chaotic movements to disorient, while the adults form an outer circle to protect the young. In addition to speed and good herd organization, symbiosis with other migratory species like wildebeest is also an important strategy. The plains zebra often takes the lead in finding new grasslands, while the wildebeest detects water sources, creating a mutually supportive relationship. For the wildebeest, the Ndutu region is the stage for one of the most critical phases in its wildlife cycle, the calving season. The blue wildebeest is known as a migration specialist, with over 1.5 million individuals participating in the great journey across the Serengeti and Masai Mara. This journey begins in Ndutu from around January to March, when the green plains after the rains create ideal conditions for a mass calving season. During this peak period, more than 500,000 calves are born at an astonishing rate, averaging over 8,000 births a day for 3 consecutive weeks. This timing is not only crucial for each blue wildebeest, but also has a profound impact on the entire ecosystem of the Serengeti and Ndutu. Synchronized birthing is a key evolutionary strategy for this species. Nearly 80% of all calves are born in the Ndutu area. This strategy creates a phenomenon known as prey swapping, where the sheer number of simultaneous births overwhelms the hunting capacity of predators like lions, cheetahs, and hyenas. However, not all survive in this harsh environment. About 40% of the calves are eaten by predators during the same calving season, and only about 60% survive their first year. The harshness of nature turns every moment into a relentless struggle for survival. From the moment they are born, blue wildebeest calves display incredible survival instincts. Just minutes after birth, they can stand and move with the herd, reducing the risk of being left behind. This agility is a crucial factor that increases their chances of survival in the perilous first days of life. Wildebeest herds often move in large groups, creating a collective chaos that makes it difficult for predators to focus on a single target. Under the harsh Serengeti sun, the image of a cheetah crossing the vast plains conveys the beauty of speed and power. Each stride is both powerful and elegant, like a dance expressing the perfection of nature. With a body optimally designed for high-speed movement, the cheetah is the fastest land predator on the planet. In ancient times, the cheetah's range extended from Africa to the Middle East and Asia. But climate change and habitat loss have significantly shrunk their territory, leaving them mainly in the grasslands and open woodlands of Africa. In the Serengeti, particularly in the Ndutu area, the cheetah finds an ideal environment with low vegetation and wide open spaces. The grasslands of this region, at an average altitude of about 4,000 feet above sea level, are home to many gazelle species such as Thompson's grants and blue wildebeest, which are their main food source. With a hunting success rate of nearly 50%, the cheetah surpasses many other large predators like the lion, which only achieves about 30%. This efficiency is due to the cheetah selecting smaller prey that is less able to defend itself and easier to bring down. Typically, a hunt begins at a short distance, usually under 200 feet, to ensure an effective attack. Once a target is chosen, the cheetah initiates a high-speed chase, aiming for individuals that lag behind or show signs of weakness. With the ability to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds, the cheetah is the fastest land animal. This incredible speed is thanks to a perfect biological structure. Long legs and powerful muscles provide the necessary propulsion. Meanwhile, its long tail acts as a rudder, helping to maintain balance and steer during the chase. Semi-retractable claws give it a firm grip like the spikes on a running shoe. A lightweight skeleton reduces drag and optimizes speed over short distances. However, a chase rarely lasts more than 30 seconds, as operating at high speed consumes an enormous amount of energy. After catching its prey, the cheetah must eat quickly or drag the carcass to a more secluded spot to avoid having it stolen by larger competitors like hyenas or lions. This forces it not only to be a skilled hunter but also to be constantly vigilant against the possibility of losing its prize. By hunting small herbivores, the cheetah helps control gazelle populations, preventing population booms that could degrade the vegetation. It also plays a role in the food chain by providing meat for scavengers and secondary predators. The presence of the cheetah contributes to ecological balance and protects the biodiversity of the Serengeti. However, the cheetah is currently facing many serious threats. Habitat shrinkage, conflict with humans, and intense competition with other predators are the main causes of their decline. In the Serengeti, conservation programs are focusing on maintaining natural habitats and minimizing conflict through community awareness and sustainable resource management. As dusk settles over the Serengeti savanna, the thunderous roar of an adult male lion echoes through the air, evoking a sense of absolute dominance. That sound is not just a territorial declaration, but a powerful assertion of the presence of one of nature's icons of strength and balance. With a muscular body weighing between 280 and 420 pounds and a body length of up to 8 feet, the Serengeti lion lives and thrives in an ecosystem that is both harsh and diverse. The landscape of short grasslands, sparse bushlands, and wide open spaces creates an ideal habitat for this big cat. In the Endangered region, thanks to relentless conservation efforts, the lion population has shown signs of recovery. The lion prides on the southeastern plains often have a well-defined social structure with a common size of 10 to 15 individuals. Although they can sometimes reach 20 or 30 members, a typical pride consists of 1 or 2 dominant males along with several adult females and their cubs. The females are primarily responsible for hunting and caring for the young, while the males protect the territory and the pride from potential threats. Living in a pride not only increases hunting efficiency but also ensures better defense against other lion prides or competitors like hyenas. However, living in a pride structure also entails frequent conflicts, not only with external enemies, but also among individuals of the same species. A dominant male lion can control a very large territory and often uses his roar to mark his presence, a sound that can be heard from up to 5 miles away. Fights for leadership among males are often fierce and directly affect the preservation of a strong gene pool and the survival of the entire pride. As the only big cat with social behavior, the lion has developed complex cooperative hunting tactics to maximize its chances of success. Their preferred prey includes zebra, wildebeest, and sometimes buffalo. Despite their superior strength, their hunting success rate is only about 30%, as they often attack large prey capable of strong self-defense. The females often coordinate closely while hunting, using the low grasslands to hide and approach from multiple angles. When close, they launch a surprise attack, often targeting isolated or weaker individuals in the herd. When facing large prey like buffalo, the males are often called in to participate. Thanks to their strength and weight, they are capable of taking down prey that the females cannot subdue alone. A large kill like a buffalo is enough to feed a pride of over 10 lions. The dominant male eats first, followed by any other males in the pride. Then come the females, and finally the young lions and cubs. As the lion's roar fades into the distance, another sound emerges. It is the sneeze of the African wild dog. The fragile existence of this species reflects the harsh pressures of habitat loss and direct competition with other large predators like lions and spotted hyenas. In the past, the range of the African wild dog extended across much of Africa, including the Serengeti. However, the species was declared extinct in Serengeti National Park in 1992, mainly due to poaching disease and fierce competition with other carnivores. Currently, conservation programs are working to restore their numbers through controlled reintroductions, establishing safe migration corridors and minimizing human-wildlife conflict. The environment in Nudutu offers a characteristic landscape where their prey, such as Thompson's gazelles, Grant's gazelles, and blue wildebeest, are frequently present. With a lightweight body averaging 44 to 66 pounds and a height of about 30 inches, the African wild dog is a symbol of agility and endurance. It can travel up to 12 miles a day in search of prey and to avoid threats. One of the most remarkable social characteristics of the African wild dog is its cohesive pack structure and high level of cooperation among members. Each pack typically consists of 6 to 20 individuals, but only one alpha pair is responsible for reproduction. The internal organization and strong community spirit allow them to overcome difficult situations that solitary predators would struggle with. The strongest individuals not only hunt, but also care for the young and share food with injured or weak members of the pack. The hunting skill of the African wild dog is based on persistence and coordination. With speeds of up to 44 miles per hour and the ability to maintain that pace over long distances, they are one of the most tenacious hunters in the animal kingdom. Their group hunting strategy is flexibly adapted. Some members take the lead while others encircle or attack directly. Instead of ambushing, they pursue their prey until it is exhausted, an effective tactic in open spaces like Nudutu. Their hunting success rate reaches up to 80%, far exceeding many other predators, thanks to good prey selection and perfect cooperation. In Nudutu, the African wild dog plays a role in regulating herbivore populations, helping to prevent overgrazing and preserve vegetation. Additionally, the remains of their kills become a valuable food source for scavengers like vultures and jackals, thereby contributing to the nutrient cycle and ecological stability of the region. Not only grasslands, but also saline lake systems like Lake Nudutu and Lake Masai are an essential source of life for wildlife and an important refuge for migratory birds. As dawn illuminates the surface of Lake Nudutu, thousands of lesser flamingos glide gently across the water. Reflecting a soft pink light, as if a living painting, they move in large flocks, traveling hundreds of miles to find saline lakes with suitable conditions for feeding and breeding. The range of the lesser flamingo is primarily concentrated in East Africa, especially in saline and alkaline lakes, rich in minerals such as Lake Natron, Lake Ndutu, and Lake Masai. These are unique environments where high salinity and alkalinity not only deter predators, but also allow for the ideal growth of spirulina algae, a type of cyanobacteria that is their main food source. The saline lakes in Ndutu, with their mudflats and low water levels, play an essential role in the lesser flamingo's breeding cycle. There they build nests out of mud, creating small mounds high enough to protect their eggs from the water and extreme temperatures. The lesser flamingo possesses incredible survival skills. A specialized filtration system in their beaks allows them to separate cyanobacteria and algae from the saltwater, turning what other species cannot consume into an abundant energy source. The skin on their legs and feet is specially adapted to withstand the saline and alkaline environment, allowing them to survive in conditions that many other species cannot. With this feeding habit, flamingos control the growth of algae and cyanobacteria, helping to prevent water eutrophication. Furthermore, the social behavior of the lesser flamingo is demonstrated through their strong group cohesion. They use calls and body movements to communicate, allowing them to maintain connection and synchronization in constantly changing environments. Lake Ndutu is also where the gray-crowned cranes greet the dawn with their brilliant golden crests known by many names, such as the golden-crested crane, African crane, or simply the crowned crane. This species is a symbol of the enduring connection between beauty and ecological function. The grasslands, deep lakes and wetlands of this area are not only their habitat, but also the perfect stage for their elegant dances and sophisticated survival strategies. The grey-crowned crane lives in much of East Africa, preferring areas rich in vegetation and with shallow water. In Ndutu, with its lake systems like Lake Ndutu and its swampy areas, it finds one of the most favorable environments for feeding and breeding. The shallow lakes, rich in sediment and aquatic vegetation, are a frequent destination for this species, where they find an abundant food source of grasses, seeds, insects, and small amphibians. These waters are part of the Serengeti's migratory bird corridor, which hosts over 450 bird species and brings exceptional biodiversity to the region. With a height of about 3 feet and a weight of 7 to 8 pounds, the grey-crowned crane exudes a delicate and powerful beauty at the same time. Its brilliant golden crest, reminiscent of a natural crown, makes it stand out in any landscape. Its broad wings with a wingspan of up to 6.5 feet and black and white coloration allow it to soar over the vast lands of Africa. Unlike most other crane species, the grey-crowned crane can perch in trees thanks to its special claw structure, an advantage that allows it to find safe shelter and observe from above. During the breeding season, the grey-crowned crane exhibits unique and highly symbolic social behaviors. It performs elegant courtship dances, combining gentle steps, resonant calls, and delicate wing movements. This ritual is essential for strengthening the pair bond. Following these rituals, they choose areas with shallow water or swamps to build their nests using reeds and other aquatic plants to create high mounds that protect the eggs from water and extreme temperatures. Each nest typically contains 2 to 5 eggs, and both the male and female share the tasks of incubation and raising the young. The grey-crowned crane has a varied diet which allows it to adapt to environmental changes. Its food includes both plants and small animals, from seeds, roots and grasses to insects, frogs and small crustaceans. They use their long, strong legs to stir the water or turn over leaves to find prey, an important skill in environments as rich and unstable as the Serengeti. The ecological role of the grey-crowned crane in Nadutu and the southeastern plains is crucial. It helps control insect populations, aids in seed dispersal, and helps maintain ecological balance in the wetlands. Furthermore, its presence is an important indicator of environmental health, as this species depends on high-quality wetlands for survival and reproduction. As part of the ecological cycle, it acts not only as a consumer but also as a vital link in the region's food web. However, the grey-crowned crane is facing serious threats and is classified as endangered by the IUCN. Its population is declining due to habitat loss, resource exploitation, and climate change. Wetlands such as Lake Nadutu and the surrounding areas are at risk from agricultural expansion, unsustainable tourism, and declining water resources. Protecting these ecosystems is fundamental not only for the gray-crowned crane, but for all species that depend on these wetlands. The Nile crocodile, a colossal reptile reaching 20 feet in length and weighing over 2,000 pounds, showcases remarkable adaptability and resilience in a harsh environment. The river is not just a sanctuary, but a fierce hunting ground, especially during the rainy season when millions of wildebeest cross on their migration. Evolved over millions of years since the Jurassic period, the crocodile possesses an immensely powerful jaw, thick armor-like skin, and the ability to stay submerged for long periods. In the western corridor, where the Grumeti River meanders, the Nile crocodile finds its ideal habitat. The river provides fresh water shelter and an abundant food source from migrating herds. The muddy riverbed and riverside bushes offer perfect ambush sites. The stable water temperature helps regulate its body temperature, conserving energy for attacks. When the migration begins, the Grumeti River becomes a natural barrier. Crocodiles lie hidden beneath the water, only their eyes and nostrils exposed, waiting to strike. Their powerful bodies deliver a bite force that can reach up to 5,000 pounds per square inch PSI, one of the strongest ever recorded. The death roll technique efficiently tears apart prey. Each migration season, the Grumeti crocodiles kill over 6,000 wildebeest, playing a fundamental role in the food chain. However, 60% of the wildebeest still manage to cross the river successfully. The Nile crocodile is a master of survival. It can go for months without eating, relying on stored energy. Its ability to endure long periods without food and its physical resilience help it survive times of scarcity. A flexible body diving ability and durable skin protect it from harsh conditions. As an apex predator, the Nile crocodile controls herbivore populations like wildebeest and zebra, preventing overgrazing. The remains of its prey provide food for scavengers, ensuring energy flow. Its presence maintains natural balance and promotes biodiversity. The Grumeti River is not just home to the Nile crocodile. It is also a territory of intense competition between this species and the hippopotamus. The hippopotamus, commonly known as the hippo, plays a unique role in the ecological structure of the Western Corridor. Weighing up to 3,300 pounds, it is the third heaviest land animal. Unlike the elephant or rhino, the hippo has a temperament that is both cautious and aggressive, creating a distinct impact on its habitat. The hippopotamus has an evolutionary history linked to both aquatic and terrestrial species from millions of years ago. Despite its appearance, it is closely related to whales and dolphins, sharing a common ancestor from about 55 million years ago. Biological changes during its evolution allowed it to adapt effectively to fresh water, evident in its short but strong legs for agile movement and its thick skin that protects it from the sun. The hippo's range includes much of sub-Saharan Africa, primarily in rivers, large lakes, and wetlands. In the Grumeti River, they congregate in deep, quiet sections where the cool water allows them to regulate their body temperature and protect their young. This river also acts as a migration corridor for many other species, especially during the wildebeest migration. By clearing paths through dense bush, hippos help maintain the flow of water, particularly during the dry season. Although they share the same habitat, the relationship between hippos and Nile crocodiles is often tense and competitive. With a massive body and canine teeth that can grow up to 20 inches long, a hippo is capable of a powerful attack if it feels threatened, especially when its young or territory are at risk. However, without provocation, both species can coexist in the same area without significant conflict. Hippos live in groups with a well-defined social structure. A typical group consists of a dominant male, along with several females, and their young, with numbers reaching up to 20 individuals. The male marks his territory by opening his mouth wide to display his tusks, or by emitting booming vocalizations. Although they spend most of their time in the water, confrontations between males for control of territory or water resources can be fierce, resulting in serious injuries and even death. The hippopotamus is an herbivore, consuming an average of 88 pounds of grass per day. It typically leaves the water at night to feed, walking along the riverbanks or deep into the bush. The paths they create while foraging not only meet their own needs, but also serve as movement corridors for other species, from small mammals to large predators like lions and leopards. The presence of the hippopotamus is key to maintaining ecological balance. Their dung, deposited directly into the water, provides a large amount of nutrients to the freshwater ecosystem, promoting the growth of microorganisms and small aquatic organisms. This, in turn, provides an abundant food source for fish and other invertebrates, ensuring the sustainable functioning of the food chain. Additionally, the movement of hippos disturbs the soil and grass, creating conditions for new plant species to grow. The challenges for the migrating herds do not end after crossing the Grumeti River, where Nile crocodiles and aggressive hippos dominate the waters. Along the banks of the Grumeti River, in the western corridor of the Serengeti, echoes the eerie but unmistakable laugh of the spotted hyena, also known as the laughing hyena. During the migration season, as thousands of wildebeest cross the Grumeti River, this area becomes the epicenter of intense survival struggles. Injured or exhausted individuals quickly become easy prey for spotted hyenas, which leads to inevitable confrontations with lions on land or with crocodiles in the water. If the crocodile dominates the aquatic environment and the lion reigns on the savanna, the spotted hyena stands out for its group coordination, physical endurance, and flexible strategy. The hunting success rate of the spotted hyena can reach up to 70%, significantly higher than the lion's average of 30 to 40%. They are not only effective solitary hunters, but also organize in groups to attack chosen prey, especially the weak or injured. With speeds of up to 37 miles per hour, the spotted hyena can pursue prey over long distances, using its endurance and numbers to gain an advantage. Each clan of spotted hyenas can have from 10 to 80 individuals, usually led by a dominant female. They operate with a clear, organizational structure, sharing information and cooperating closely during hunts or when competing for food with other species. It is estimated they steal about 20% of the prey hunted by lions in the western corridor. This success depends not only on their numbers, but also on the coordination and audacity of the clan members. In confrontations with lions, spotted hyenas use mobile tactics and rely on their numerical superiority to gain an edge. Although lions are larger and have a stronger bite, hyenas possess extremely powerful jaws with a pressure that can reach up to 1,100 pounds per square inch, enough to crush large bones. This allows them to consume both bone and cartilage, making the most of every kill. The battles only end when one side overwhelms the other in numbers or strategy. Besides their role as hunters, spotted hyenas are the most effective scavengers in the ecosystem. They help maintain environmental hygiene by consuming carcasses, preventing the spread of disease and recycling nutrients in the environment. This role is essential for the sustainability of the ecosystem, especially in areas with high wildlife density like the Western Corridor. High in the sky above the Western Corridor and the Grumeti River in the Serengeti, is the stage where the majestic wings of the Rappel's griffon vulture spread like the silent guardians of the wild world. This species plays an essential role in maintaining ecological balance in an ecosystem characterized by relentless competition and unpredictable changes. Thanks to its efficiency in removing animal carcasses, the Rappel's griffon vulture has become a crucial force in keeping the Serengeti clean and functioning well. As a member of the Old World vulture group, the Rappel's griffon vulture possesses biological traits precisely adapted to its ecological function. A long, featherless neck makes it easy to access soft tissues without contamination, and a strong, curved beak is ideal for tearing flesh. Its wingspan can reach up to 8.5 feet, allowing it to soar over long distances without expending much energy. This ability is particularly useful in arid and vast environments where food sources can be tens of miles apart. In the western corridor, especially along the Grumeti River, the Rappel's griffon vulture finds an abundant food source from the carcasses of large animals like buffalo, wildebeest, and zebra. Many of these animals fail to cross the river during the migration, leaving their remains along the banks, where vultures gather to perform their natural role as scavengers. The sandbanks and calm water areas are their main activity zones during the migration season. This species is also famous for its ability to fly at high altitudes, reaching up to 37,000 feet, the highest record for any bird species. With exceptional eyesight, they can spot a carcass from over 4 miles away and quickly arrive at the scene. A flock of Rappel's griffon vultures can completely clean a wildebeest carcass in just 30 minutes, effectively preventing the growth of bacteria and diseases such as anthrax or pasteurellosis. Despite its ecological importance, the Rappel's griffon vulture faces fierce competition for food with hyenas or lions. When these predators abandon a kill, the vultures move in using their powerful beaks to utilize the remaining tissues. Their advanced digestive system allows them to process bacteria and toxins present in decaying flesh, something few other animals can do. The function of the Rappel's griffon vulture extends beyond cleaning up carcasses. They contribute to soil regeneration through the process of organic decomposition, allowing the soil to retain nutrients and creating conditions for the growth of grass and shrubs. This is particularly important in the western corridor, where the grasslands must be kept fertile to support the large migrating herds. However, this species is facing an alarming decline in numbers. In the Serengeti, conservation efforts are underway to protect migratory routes and raise awareness among local communities about the importance of vultures in the functioning of the natural ecosystem. In the western corridor of the Serengeti, where the Grumeti River winds like a green ribbon through the plains, marabou stalks line up silently along the riverbanks. With a wingspan of about 12 feet, they stand out on the landscape as if observing every movement of life in the ecosystem. This bizarre-looking bird is also known as the undertaker bird, a name that reflects not only its appearance but also its unique role as a scavenger. The marabou stork is among the largest birds in Africa. It can stand up to 5 feet tall and weighs an average of about 20 pounds with specific biological features that allow it to adapt effectively to harsh natural conditions. Its long, featherless neck minimizes the risk of contamination when feeding on carcasses, while its large wings allow it to soar over long distances without expending much energy. These factors reinforce its prominent role on the grasslands and riverbanks of the Serengeti. The Grumeti River acts as the lifeblood of the region, providing drinking water and an abundant food source for many species, especially during the migration season. Individuals unable to cross the river leave behind a large number of carcasses which become a valuable source of nutrition for the marabou stork and other scavengers. The shallow water areas and sandy banks are ideal places for them to feed, rest, or nest. This bird tends to gather in large groups where there are animal carcasses and often operates alongside other species, like the Ruppel's griffon vulture. Its long, strong beak allows it to tear apart the carcasses of large dead animals or catch small fish in shallow water. Additionally, they also eat insects, rodents, and sometimes small birds, demonstrating a diverse diet adapted to various living conditions. When a large carcass is present, they often keep a certain distance and wait for primary predators, like lions or hyenas, to retreat before approaching the food. This strategy allows them to avoid conflict and secure their share without risk. They have long, strong legs, allowing them to move easily in shallow water, and sharp eyesight to spot targets from a distance. The marabou stork plays an essential role in the ecosystem by removing carcasses and food scraps. Its digestive system is adapted to handle bacteria and toxins that other species cannot digest, significantly reducing the risk of disease transmission. By consuming decaying organic matter, they contribute to recycling nutrients into the soil and water, supporting the growth of vegetation and biodiversity in the region. Unlike the arid plains to the south, the northern Serengeti, specifically the Lobo area, offers a remarkably diverse landscape. The combination of vast grasslands and dense thickets, particularly vibrant after each rainy season, revitalizes the vegetation with incredible force. The gently rolling terrain, along with carpets of green grass, not only provides a captivating beauty, but also offers shelter for many species characteristic of the African savanna. Each year, from September to October, the northern Serengeti becomes the stage for one of the most incredible natural phenomena, the return migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles, after feeding in fertile lands, return from Kenya to Tanzania, crossing the green plains of Lobo to continue their journey south. After taking advantage of the fresh grass of the Masai Mara Reserve during the dry season, these herds return to the Serengeti in search of the coming rains. Lobo is an area with a distinctive terrain, a mix of open grasslands and thickets of acacia and combrita. These shrubs, well adapted to arid conditions, not only provide shade, but are also a rich food source for large herbivores like elephants, buffalo, and giraffes. At the same time, the grasslands are a gathering point for herds of wildebeest and zebras, becoming an ideal territory for predators such as lions, leopards, and cheetahs. Additionally, this area is the territory of the spotted hyena, which plays an essential role as a scavenger, helping to maintain the ecological balance of the ecosystem. On the vast plains of the northern Serengeti, where the horizon seems endless, herds of African buffalo bravely endure a harsh environment and the constant threat of dangerous predators. Each herd in this region can range from 50 to 500 individuals, creating a majestic spectacle amidst the wild landscape. An adult can reach a body length of 10 feet, stand up to 5 feet at the shoulder, and weigh nearly 1,100 pounds. Their characteristic thick curved horns are not just an identifying feature, but also a powerful defensive tool. The African buffalo has an evolutionary history of millions of years closely linked to the African savanna ecosystem. Belonging to the Bovidae family, it is related to antelopes and bison, though it stands out for its superior resilience to the harshest environmental conditions. Their feeding habits contribute directly to the balance of the grassland ecosystem. Although they primarily eat grass, they also consume young shrubs, helping to control the spread of dense vegetation. This prevents thickets from dominating the landscape, creating an open habitat where various plant and animal species can coexist. Each adult buffalo can eat up to 35 pounds of grass per day, while their dung enriches the soil with essential nutrients. In addition to their large size, African buffalo are known for their strength and fierce defensive instincts. Their strong curved horns are effective weapons against any threat. When they feel attacked, they do not hesitate to charge with full force, making them one of the most formidable prey for the predators of the Serengeti. Adult males often stand on the front line of defense, protecting the young and weaker members of the herd. Herd life is key to the African buffalo's defensive strategy. Faced with a threat, the entire group will rearrange into a protective circle, with the adults forming a wall around the smaller ones. This tactic has proven particularly effective against social predators like lions and hyenas. Their behavioral flexibility allows them to adapt to the dry and rainy seasons of the Serengeti. During the dry season, herds concentrate near water sources, while when the rainy season arrives, they expand their range to take advantage of new resources and reduce internal competition. This mobility, combined with a solid social structure, allows the buffalo to survive the climatic fluctuations of their environment. In the northern Serengeti and the Lobo area, African buffalo are crucial components of the ecological balance. Besides being a food source for large predators, they regulate plant growth and maintain open savanna spaces. They also provide a habitat for birds like oxpeckers, which feed on parasites on their skin. Beneath the vast savanna, the slender yet determined silhouette of the African leopard appears silently among the trees. Unlike the dominant presence of the lion on the plains, the leopard chooses a discreet lifestyle, taking advantage of the bushy terrain and rocky slopes to hunt and protect itself. The African leopard has an evolutionary history spanning millions of years, adapting to a wide range of environments from dense forests to arid regions. Belonging to the Felidae family, it shares characteristics with other big cats, but with a more compact and agile body. An adult typically measures 3 to 6 feet in length and weighs between 88 and 150 pounds. Its pale yellow coat, dotted with distinctive black rosettes, not only gives it a unique beauty but also serves as effective camouflage in the natural vegetation. With a wide distribution across sub-Saharan Africa, the African leopard is particularly well adapted to the diverse terrain of the northern Serengeti and the Lobo area. The rock formations, known as kopjes, with their crevices and elevation, provide perfect hiding spots from which the leopard can observe and ambush prey without being detected by larger predators like lions. It is a primarily nocturnal species using its excellent night vision to hunt without direct confrontation. As a natural solitary predator, the leopard succeeds through stealth and precision. Its hunting success rate ranges from 30 to 40% higher than the lions, but lower than the cheetahs. Its most frequent prey includes impala gazelles, warthogs, and sometimes zebras. It stalks its prey by silently approaching to a very short distance without making the slightest sound. When it attacks, it launches a powerful leap to bring down its prey. Afterward, it drags the carcass up into the high branches of a tree to prevent it from being stolen by hyenas or other scavengers. This strategy not only secures its food, but also allows it to eat safely for several days. The diverse, ecological environment of the northern Serengeti and Lobo is key to the leopard's survival. The combination of dense vegetation, interspersed grasslands, and rocky outcrops provides ideal conditions for stalking unseen and avoiding threats. The areas near rivers and streams are also strategic hunting spots where many ungulates gather to drink water. In addition to its agility, the leopard is also known for its strength and its skill in jumping and climbing. It can jump up to 10 feet vertically and 20 feet horizontally, allowing it to ambush prey or escape quickly in dangerous situations. Its powerful jaws and muscular body enable it to lift prey twice its own weight into a tree, ensuring a food supply for several days without competition from other carnivores. Along the grasslands and dense bushlands of the northern Serengeti, the majestic yet silent presence of the black rhinoceros can sometimes be observed. This species is one of the most ancient surviving creatures with an evolutionary history spanning millions of years. An adult stands 5 to 6 feet at the shoulder with a body length of 10 to 12 feet and a weight ranging from 1,800 to 3,000 pounds. It possesses 2 keratin horns that can grow up to 5 feet long, used for defense communication with other individuals and marking territory. Its thick skin protects it from insects and scratches from thorny vegetation, but it is very sensitive to sunlight, which is why they often wallow in mud to cool down and protect themselves from the sun. In the past, the black rhino's range extended across almost all of sub-Saharan Africa, but today it has been reduced mainly to strictly protected nature reserves like the Serengeti. In the Lobo area, these animals inhabit sparse bushlands and grasslands where they find food and enough space to move. water sources from small streams are crucial, especially during the dry season when environmental conditions become more severe. They often follow specific ecological corridors that allow for connectivity between isolated populations, facilitating gene flow and the species' resilience in the wild. In the ecosystem, the black rhino plays a crucial role as a natural gardener. By browsing on leaves and shrubs, it helps control the overgrowth of vegetation, facilitating the expansion of grasslands and creating an open habitat for other herbivores. The paths they frequently travel become essential ecological corridors, creating connections between fragmented areas of the ecosystem. Additionally, its dung is rich in nutrients, contributing to improving soil quality and stimulating vegetation growth. Serenera, located in the heart of the Serengeti, is considered the pulse of this vast wilderness. Every corner of Serenera radiates a serene beauty, showcasing a harmonious blend of geology, climate, and wildlife. This is where the diverse ecosystem of the Serengeti is most evident. The short and tall grasslands provide an abundant food source for herbivores like elephants, buffalo, and antelopes, while the kopje's ancient granite outcrops act as natural fortresses for predators such as lions and leopards. Reptiles and birds also find safe refuge in the crevices of these rocks, making them an indispensable element in the ecological structure of Serenera. The Serenera River flowing through this central region is an essential water source for wildlife. During the dry season, when water is scarce, large herds of wildebeest, zebras, and giraffes gather around the stretches of the river that still hold water, creating scenes teeming with life. Along the riverbanks, trees like acacia thrive, providing crucial shade and food during the harshest months. Hippos often submerge themselves in the deep pools, while high above African fish eagles patiently circle, searching for prey in the clear water below. Serenera is also a convergence point for migratory corridors, making it a vital stopover in the great annual journey of millions of migratory animals. From south to north and back again, herds of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles cross this area, leaving their tracks on the ground and renewing the grasslands through the distribution of nutrients. This movement not only maintains the functioning of the ecological cycle, but also provides opportunities for predators to thrive. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas seize every opportunity to hunt, turning each migration into an intense and captivating story of survival. But the species that truly rules the skies of Serenera is the martial eagle, the largest eagle in Africa. The evolutionary history of the martial eagle spans millions of years, linked to the development of birds of prey. A true lord of the skies, a member of the Hippopotamus family, it possesses a powerful body, dark yellow eyes, and sharp talons of incredible strength. Its body length ranges from 30 to 38 inches, ranking it among the largest eagles on the continent. This species' range extends throughout sub-Saharan Africa, from dry savannas to open lands with sparse vegetation. On the central southern plains and in Serenera, the martial eagle often chooses tall trees or high ground near grasslands to build its nest, where it can observe and easily access prey. Their nests are made of large branches reaching over 6 feet in diameter and are reused for many years. The martial eagle employs a hunting strategy that combines strength, speed, and patience. From a great height, it can survey a vast visual space, thanks to its sharp eyesight, spotting prey from a distance of up to 3 miles. Its frequent prey includes guinea fowl, hares, mongooses, some large birds like storks, and even small antelopes like the dik-dik. The Serengeti, one of the world's most iconic natural wonders, is a symbol of biodiversity and the stage for intense survival struggles among wild species. However, this ecosystem is now facing significant challenges stemming from both the natural environment and human activities. One of the most serious threats comes from the population increase in the areas surrounding the Serengeti. This increase has led to the loss of about 30% of the ecological corridors, essential routes for many wild species, especially during the migration season. For centuries, these corridors have been natural escape routes, allowing millions of animals like wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles to move to areas with more water and food during the dry months. When these pathways are narrowed or fragmented, the natural migration cycle is disrupted, causing severe shortages of essential resources. Climate change is also a significant challenge. Rainfall patterns have become unpredictable, directly affecting the vegetation and water sources in the Serengeti. The rainy season, which traditionally regenerates the grasslands and ensures a lifeline for herbivores and predators, is now erratic. This creates difficulties for predators like lions, cheetahs, and leopards, which depend on the movement of their prey for food. Keystone species like elephants and buffalo, considered the gardeners of the ecosystem, are also affected, hindering the natural maintenance of the plant landscape. Furthermore, poaching remains a serious threat, especially for species like the black rhino and elephant. Despite significant conservation efforts, illegal poachers continue to hunt for horns and tusks due to their high market value. The decline of these keystone species not only means the loss of Serengeti icons, but also alters important ecological functions. An adult elephant, for example, can consume up to 300 pounds of food and drink over 50 gallons of water a day, helping to maintain hydrological and ecological balance. Their absence reduces the ecosystem's ability to regenerate. Human activities have also increased human-wildlife conflict. Lion prides or spotted hyena clans are often hunted to protect livestock, while elephants searching for food can destroy crops, causing tensions with local communities. These conflicts not only increase the pressure on wildlife, but also weaken the long-standing relationship between humans and nature. Over the past 2 decades, conservation efforts have made significant progress. Ecological corridors that were once severely fragmented have begun to recover, with over 1,200 square miles of land incorporated into conservation areas since 2015. As a result, the success rate of the annual migrations, especially for wildebeest and zebras, has increased by 25%, while mortality due to isolation on fragmented lands has significantly decreased. These devices not only allow for the timely detection of illegal activities, but also track the movements of species like elephants and black rhinos, ensuring more effective protection. Community-based conservation programs, like the Serengeti Community Project, have provided economic support to local communities, reducing human-wildlife conflict by 30%. The restoration of water sources in Serengeti and other rivers has increased water flow by 20%, enough to sustain large species like buffalo and elephants. At the same time, sustainable tourism policies have minimized environmental impact, protecting the more than 300,000 zebras that cross the area each year. These efforts have not only increased the lion population by 15%, but have also contributed to the survival of iconic species, like the black rhino. Thanks to comprehensive conservation strategies, the Serengeti is reshaping its future, protecting its wildlife, and creating a lasting legacy for generations to come. For millions of years, this great kingdom ruled itself. But now a new force has entered the plains, one that does not play by the ancient rules. The future of the Serengeti, the fate of its 5 great dynasties, no longer rests in their claws or their tusks alone. Now it rests in our hands, and the choice of what kind of world we leave behind is ours. Beneath the ancient canopy, a family of warthogs enjoys a moment of peace, oblivious to the danger that now stalks them. From a distance, a lioness and her hungry cubs emerge, their eyes burning with the primal craving of a predator. For the lioness, this hunt is more than a meal. It is the first vital lesson in survival for her vulnerable young. Instead, it becomes a ferocious confrontation. With every labored breath, the lioness's milk runs lower, and the future for her cubs now hangs by the slenderest of threads. Without the aid of her pride, the cubs' chances of survival in this unforgiving world are vanishingly slim. This movement is often driven by changes in temperature, rainfall, or the scarcity of resources. When the dry season arrives and rivers run low, when fresh grass and fruit are gone, the animals must keep moving to survive. The African savanna is the ultimate theater for the power and fragility of these seasonal movements. Here, vast grasslands seem to stretch into eternity, where the land and sky move to the timeless rhythm of fire, rain, and rebirth. They follow the rain, searching for the promised green pastures. Seasonal migration is the annual cyclical movement of animals in response to changes in climate, food, and water. It follows a fixed route, repeated year after year, sometimes for thousands of miles. Ecologists call it seasonal migration because its timing is predictable. But this great movement is commanded by a force far older than the herds themselves, the eternal duel between sun and rain. When the heavens open, life itself erupts from the soil, a promise whispered on the wind. As the rains cease and the grasses wither, the animals retreat, returning to safer havens, sometimes the very place they left months before. Of all seasonal migrations, the most renowned is perhaps the Great Migration. In the Serengeti ecosystem, an area spanning over 12,000 square miles across Tanzania and Kenya, one of the largest and most spectacular migrations on Earth unfolds. Millions of blue wildebeest move in a great arc, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of Thompson's gazelles and zebras. Each year, this great legion of grazers travels some 500 miles in a closed loop, seeking water-fresh grass and safe calving grounds. On this journey, the Grant zebra is the silent, unsung pioneer, the one that opens the way. It is the smallest subspecies of the plain zebra, and also the most numerous in East Africa. Unlike the wildebeest, they do not instinctively follow the path of the rains. Their journey has a clearer purpose, and above all, a strategy. For the Grant zebra is equipped with a remarkable gift. It can dine on the toughest, driest stalks of grass, the very layers the wildebeest cannot stomach. They are the pioneers clearing the way. As these tough layers of grass are cropped by the zebra's sharp teeth, the soft new shoots beneath are exposed, ready for the grazers that follow. It is a perfect, unspoken coordination as two species make the most of the vegetation without direct competition. They possess a powerful memory of the landscape of the great rivers, of which banks are less steep and where grass is more plentiful than rock. This combination of natural instinct and spatial memory forms a living network of information within the herd. When crossing the Mara or Grumeti rivers, zebras are often the first to plunge into the water. They do not wait, nor do they hesitate for long. This behavior inadvertently becomes a signal for other migrating species, keeping the Great March from descending into chaos. The zebra's social structure also helps to protect the entire herd from predators. Traveling alongside wildebeest, the two species create a flexible alarm system. Grant's zebras detect threats with their keen sight and hearing, while wildebeest are more sensitive to smell and movement. Together, they significantly reduce the risk of being ambushed by lions, leopards, or spotted hyenas. But the Great Migration is not without its perils. An estimated 250,000 individuals perish each year on this arduous journey due to thirst, hunger, exhaustion, or predation. For the blue wildebeest, the most numerous pilgrims, how is their population sustained? They follow a simple principle. There is safety in numbers, especially when it comes to birth. From January to March, on the southern plains of the Serengeti, around 500,000 calves are born in just a few short weeks. This synchronized birthing is an evolutionary strategy designed to overwhelm predators. When so many young are born at once, the chances of survival for each individual increase. No matter how swift or cunning, the hunters cannot possibly catch them all. Within minutes, its slender, trembling legs lift its small body upright, and within 15 minutes it can run alongside its mother. If it does not gain its strength quickly, not even the largest herd can keep it safe. Predators waste no time in targeting the newborns. By April, the long rains drench the western Serengeti. Fresh grass sprouts in the western corridor, while the southern plains begin to dry out. The wildebeest herds begin their westward trek before gradually turning north. By July, the migration reaches the Grumeti and Mara rivers, where the most daunting challenges await. These rivers are not only deep and fast-flowing, but are also home to 16-foot Nile crocodiles that lie in wait just beneath the surface. As the wildebeest pour into the water, chaos erupts. The sound of bellowing, splashing water and snapping jaws echoes along the riverbanks. Thousands can be lost in a matter of hours, but the survivors press on northward to the Masai Mara, where the grass is still green and recent rains have filled the waterholes. From September to October, the herds settle temporarily in the Masai Mara, but this respite is brief, and the land offers more than just green pastures. Here, the wildebeest encounter hungry clans of spotted hyenas. They move like ghosts, seldom drawing attention. On the plains of the Masai Mara, as the sun fades, the eerie laughter of the spotted hyena echoes across the grasslands. It is a call that rallies the clan. They do not hunt alone. The clan spreads out like living spears. The lead group closes in on the prey. Another circles around to the front, while a few move silently into position on the flanks. It is a coordinated pincer movement, refined over thousands of years of evolution. When the distance closes to just a few feet, jaws with a crushing force of 1,000 pounds snap shut, aiming for the vulnerable hind legs or belly of their quarry. In many regions, up to 95% of a hyena's diet comes from prey it has killed itself. And when the carcasses are scattered across the plains after lions and vultures have left the toughest scraps, the spotted hyena remains. They crush every last piece of bone, digesting even the densest marrow that other species must leave behind. This ability makes them nature's ultimate recyclers. By November, the short rains return to the southern Serengeti. The land once again changes color. Fresh grass begins to grow, and the wildebeest quietly turn back. No command is given. No single individual leads the way. Yet somehow the entire herd moves in unison. Year after year, they return to the same familiar stopping points following the ancient trails. However, not every individual migrates. Some small groups remain year-round near reliable water sources. This suggests that migration is not an absolute instinct. After the zebras have trimmed the tall, coarse grass, and the wildebeest have consumed the middle layer, the real delicacies are revealed. Tender new shoots, green buds and soft leaves close to the ground. This is when the Thompson's gazelles move in. Although part of the Great Migration, Thompson's gazelles follow a much shorter and more flexible route than the others. They tend to remain in the southern Serengeti for longer, especially after the rainy season ends. Thanks to their high tolerance for arid conditions and their specialized diet, they do not need to travel as far to find food. However, Tommies are still dependent on surface water, and this is the factor that limits their range. As the streams gradually dry up, they adjust their course, but always within a manageable distance. Their strutting behavior, leaping high into the air on all four legs, is not just a sign of alertness, but also an alarm signal to the herd. With a top speed of up to 45 miles per hour combined with zigzagging leaps to evade capture, they are no easy target. But even that may not be enough to deter a cheetah. During the migration, cheetahs do not follow the flow of herbivores like other predators, but constantly shift their hunting grounds based on the presence of prey. Under the fiery sky of the Masai Mara, herds of Thompson's gazelles are scattered across the plain. In the yellow grass, a cheetah presses itself low to the ground. Its taut, supple body glides like the wind. The black tear marks running from its eyes to its mouth help reduce the sun's glare, and its gaze is locked on a young gazelle that has strayed from its mother. It moves upwind using low mounds to close the distance to just 40 yards. Its spine, coiled like a steel spring, unleashes in an instant. Semi-retractable claws dig into the earth, and its body accelerates to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. The gazelle stumbles, then tumbles in a cloud of dust. The chase lasts less than a minute, but every second is a culmination of speed, precision, and evolutionary refinement. Unable to defend its kill from larger predators, a cheetah eats quickly. It has only 10 to 15 minutes to tear at the flesh before a spotted hyena or a lion discovers the meal and steals it. It chooses to abandon its kill and retreat, not out of weakness, but as a survival strategy to conserve energy and live to hunt another day. On this savanna, every creature is defined by its power, by the jaws that can shatter bone, by the speed that can tear through the wind. But here, under the shade of an acacia tree, power takes on a different form entirely. She is a queen, a lethal hunter, forged in 100 bloody skirmishes. Yet today, that fortress of muscle and might has become a playground. tiny, clumsy paws explore the soft landscape of their mother's belly, the one gentle place in a world of thorns. A soft bat of a paw is met with a rumbling purr. A playful nibble on her ear earns not a snarl of dominance but a patient grooming lick. This is not a ruler holding court. This is a mother. And in this moment, we are witnessing a language far older than the hunt, the universal language of love, spoken not in words. But intolerant sighs and the unwavering promise that for this one perfect moment her body is their shield, her presence is their world, and her love is their only law. The Serengeti's drama may hold the world's gaze, but the pulse of Africa beats in countless other journeys, often far from our eyes. To the west, on the Liuwa Plain, another ancient rhythm unfolds. Unlike the perilous journey of the Serengeti Liuwa, has a gentler atmosphere, more like a collective pilgrimage to promised grasslands. Yet the goal remains the same: to find a safe place to give birth and enough food to nourish the next generation. Around October, as the first rains begin to soak into the cracked earth, the Liuwa grasslands awaken. From all directions, over 45,000 blue wildebeest, along with smaller herds of plains, zebra and lechwe, begin their The Liuwa migration may lack the epic spectacle of the Serengeti, but its very quietness lends it the feeling of a sacred procession. Across the floodplains of South Sudan, a silent migration is underway, on a scale many times larger than The Great Nile Migration is now the largest overland migration in the world, with over 5 million white-eared kob alongside Tiang Mongala gazelles and reedbuck. Their journey spans from Badingilo National Park to Boma National Park and into the Gambela region of Ethiopia, driven by the cycle of rains and the emergence of fresh pasture. Unlike the famous journeys marked by dramatic scenes of predation, this migration plays a more harmonious role in the ecosystem. Just as some herds retrace their steps each season, other species are not bound by the cycles of sun and rain, nor do they have a fixed destination. Instead, they move in a more fluid form of migration known as interbiomic migration. These movements follow the rhythm of necessity, the pulse of the environment. There are no fixed routes, no repeated destinations. To do this, animals need exceptional endurance and navigational skills. When it comes to intelligence, spatial memory, and life experience, perhaps no animal can compare to the mighty African bush elephant. As the savanna begins to turn a dusty yellow as the last traces of water retreat from the rock pools, the African elephants begin to move. In the savanna ecosystem, they are among the few creatures that can redesign their survival route each year, not through genetic programming, but through memory, experience, and social transmission. Each herd is led by a matriarch, the oldest and most experienced female, often over 40 years old. She remembers every hidden waterhole, every grove of trees that will drop its fruit after the first rains, and the precise moment to depart. A herd might travel 30 to 50 miles in a single night to reach water, even when there are no signs of it on the surface. Young elephants learn these routes by following the matriarch, a practical lesson in survival. In the Gourma region of Mali, elephants living between the savanna and the semi-desert Sahel have been recorded making an arcing migration covering an area of up to 12,000 square miles. Their annual journey is about 300 to 370 miles long, one of the longest land migrations ever recorded for elephants. Here, water is scarce, Vegetation is sparse, the climate is harsh, and temperatures can exceed 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Survival is not a matter of random wandering. Along the way, their heavy footsteps clear paths through the bush, creating corridors for zebras, antelopes, and hundreds of other species. When they encounter a dry riverbed, they use their trunks and feet to dig deep into the sand, tapping into cool underground water sources. These small wells quickly become gathering points for monkeys, birds, and even predators. To travel such distances, elephants must overcome both ecological and human-made challenges. According to a report by the African Wildlife Foundation, the lower Zambezi is under severe pressure from deforestation and corridor fragmentation, forcing elephant populations into smaller spaces. African elephants are not merely seeking survival, they are keeping the very lifeblood of the savanna flowing. If African elephants choose to cross hundreds of miles of cracked earth to connect distant water sources, the African buffalo writes a different story. Their journey consists of short, deliberate movements, each shaped by a survival strategy, honed over thousands of seasons of rain and drought. Not bound by a single route, African buffalo inhabit a wide range of habitats from open grasslands to acacia woodlands. When the dry season arrives, when the earth cracks and the grass is reduced to brittle stalks, they retreat to wetter core areas. The strength of the herd comes not just from muscle, but from unity and collective wisdom. Instead of being led by a single dominant individual, the buffalo herd votes in a unique way. When it is time to move, adult females will begin to stand and face in the direction they think is best. The direction that receives the most consensus becomes the path for the entire herd. When on the move, smaller herds may merge into superherds of 1,000 to 2,000 individuals. Such a massive gathering is a natural defense strategy. A herd of buffalo with thousands of pairs of eyes, thousands of curved horns, is an almost impenetrable wall. However, not all African buffalo herds need to migrate. In landscapes with year-round water and rapidly regenerating grass, a portion of the population will remain resident. If African buffalo are divided into movers and stayers, then the common eland is the true master of the nomadic life. They are not bound by fixed routes or specific seasons, but let their feet follow the green flush of fresh grass and the glint of water. The common eland is the largest antelope, standing nearly 6 feet at the shoulder and weighing around half a ton. However, it is also the slowest antelope, with a top speed of about 25 miles per hour. Elands do not defend territories. When the rains arrive, they quickly move to areas where fresh grass has sprouted. But when the rains cease and the grass withers, they move on. Their path may lead them to open woodlands, granite hills, or thorny bushlands. Like the common eland, the marabou stalk is never still. But while the eland chases the green of new grass, the marabou stalk seeks the remains of the less fortunate. Unbound by any fixed migratory schedule, they move with the shifting tides of food and water. The marabou stalk has the appearance of an undertaker. A cloak of dark slate-grey feathers drapes its shoulders, a bald head and a bare neck are mottled with purplish veins. When the water in the floodplains begins to recede, fish, frogs and insects are exposed in the mud, creating an ideal feeding ground. But when the land becomes more arid, the marabou stalk will fly for hundreds of miles. Their destination might be newly formed inland lakes or sites of mass die-offs following disease outbreaks. However, what makes the marabou stalk a unique link in the ecological web is that it is not entirely bound to the wild. When the floodplains dry up or carcasses decompose too quickly under the hot sun, the marabou may shift to living alongside city dumps. If the marabou stalk evokes the image of a brutish scavenger, the lesser flamingo is its perfect opposite. Slender, brilliantly pink and as graceful as a dancer on the water. Where the sun bakes the pale, mineral-rich lakes, the world's most numerous flamingo undertakes its mysterious migrations. They pursue a single goal, the bloom of cyanobacteria spirulina, the almost exclusive food source that sustains the entire flock. Where the sun bakes pale, mineral-rich lakes and a crust of salt forms on the mud. The world's most numerous flamingo undertakes its mysterious migrations. With a population estimated at between 2.2 and 3.2 million adults, lesser flamingos are concentrated mainly in East and Southern Africa. They choose soda lakes of extreme alkalinity, often with a pH of 9.5 to 11. This environment is almost uninhabitable for most animals, but a biological paradise for spirulina. When the spirulina levels in one lake begin to decline, the flock departs almost in unison for another, more promising lake. These journeys can cover from a few dozen to hundreds of miles and are often undertaken at night. From hundreds of feet in the air, they can spot the turquoise and jade-green patches that stand out on the water's surface. It is a sign of life. They have a clear memory of places that once offered abundance of shallow lakes that changed color after a rainstorm or when the water receded. Not every migration in Africa resounds with the thundering hooves of millions or trails vast clouds of dust. In many grasslands, semi-arid regions or seasonal wetlands, there are natural movements so quiet that a casual observer might easily miss them. Ecologists describe some of these as dispersive, subtle, sometimes partial or lacking complete synchrony. These movements are often limited to a range of just a few dozen miles. They occur in scattered patterns. The species involved often include the springbok, some populations of reedbuck, and many species of grassland or water birds that move locally. This is the springbok. Its current population is estimated at around 2 to 2.5 million individuals. It follows a loosely defined regional migration, just enough to escape the dry heat, and just enough to regain vitality in pockets of young grass. In an environment of constantly changing temperature and humidity, it does not migrate on a fixed schedule, but shifts its location with an irregular ecological rhythm. A single unseasonal rain shower is enough to change its direction. History records the phenomenon known as trekbokken mass movements of springbok in the 19th century. Hundreds of thousands would sweep across the arid lands following the rains, but that spectacle has all but vanished. Fences, agricultural expansion, and modern infrastructure have fractured the ancient habitat corridors. The vast herds have fragmented into smaller populations, and today's medium-scale migrations have become shorter displacements. Waiting for them there is the African leopard. The seasoned predator simply waits in silence. Stalking forward without a sound, it circles a bush. When the distance closes to about 6 feet, it pounces, a single bite to the neck. Without the collective strength of a lion pride or the astonishing speed of a cheetah, the leopard holds a unique place in the wild. It is built on the skills of a solitary hunter and an almost unparalleled ability to adapt to any change in its surroundings. Whether in the dense forests of Central Africa, the grasslands of the Serengeti, or even on the fringes of expanding cities, this species is recorded. This diversity of habitat also means a much more flexible lifestyle. When food becomes scarce, they can switch from hunting antelope to catching porcupines. An unselective diet allows them to seize every opportunity, from small antelopes and monkeys to birds and rodents. Combined with their extraordinary camouflage, they can approach almost unseen until the moment of their lightning-fast attack. Scientific records show they can haul prey more than 3 times their own body weight up into trees over 16 feet high. Every branch becomes a larder, keeping their prize safe from opportunistic thieves like spotted hyenas or lions. Their behavior is not just instinct, but a survival strategy refined over millions of years of evolution. This time the target is a reedbuck. Unlike a springbok hunt, nothing stands between the leopard and its prey. Classified as a medium to large antelope, the reedbuck weighs between 100 and 140 pounds with a sturdy yet slender build. It is typically found in moist grasslands, riverine plains, the edges of marshes, or seasonal floodplains. Unlike the springbok, the reedbuck lives at a gentler pace closely tied to its home range. It does not undertake transcontinental migrations, but instead makes short-term or seasonal movements, often along riverine grasslands. However, whether the migration is seasonal interbiomic or silent among the tall grasses, all depend on one critical factor: connected space. This is why migratory corridors are the ecological lifeblood of the entire continent. Migratory corridors are more than just routes that animals travel seasonally. They are strips of ecological space that connect fragmented habitats. They help maintain genetic integrity, ecological balance and population stability, and most importantly, increase resilience to climate change. When a corridor is severed by roads, fences, agriculture, or urban development, the impact is not just the blockage of a few individuals. It means population fragmentation, loss of genetic diversity, lower reproductive rates, and in many cases, local decline. The Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area (KAZA), spanning the intersection of Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, is the largest transboundary wildlife corridor in Africa. It serves as a biological crossroads for the African elephant, a species that travels hundreds of miles each season in search of new water sources. Kaza links national parks such as Chobe, Bwabwata, Kafue, and Zambezi, forming a barrier-free ecological maze. It is also one of the few places in Africa where lions can move across national borders without being stopped by human barriers. For young males, reaching maturity often means being expelled from the pride. The existence of survival corridors in KAZA allows them to seek new territories. This genetic exchange helps prevent inbreeding and protects the health of the population. Without Kaza, those footsteps would be stopped. With nowhere to go, the lions would be trapped on islands of conservation. To the south of Kaza, the Kruger-Limpopo corridor continues this role as a living bridge connecting South Africa's Kruger National Park with Zimbabwe's Gonareju National Park. Here, interbiomic migration is at its clearest. Elephants and African buffalo retreat south during the rainy season, then return to higher ground when the dry season arrives. But this corridor now bears new scars. In Mozambique, new trade routes are winding between growing towns. Each new fence post, each truck road through the bush is like a taut thread being pulled on the fabric of this natural network. In the wild heart of southern Africa, there is an invisible path that only the herds of Burchell's zebra truly know. It is the Chobeng-Neshai Pan corridor, a long and challenging ecological passage. Here, the longest linear migration of any terrestrial mammal in Africa takes place. Every year, as the first rains fall in the Chobe region of Botswana, thousands of zebras leave the flooded riverfront grasslands. They travel directly south, crossing dusty savanna and cracked earth, heading for the vast salt pans of Niksai Pan. This journey is never meandering. The herds move as if guided by an internal compass. A few months later, as the hot sun returns and the grass at Niksai Pan withers, they journey back to the very place they started. And while the great herds of wildlife continue their tireless movements below, high above the savanna sky opens to a different kind of corridor. This is the Rift Valley Flyway, where millions of wings cross the African continent each year. It is one of the 9 largest migratory flyways in the world, but it has a unique character. It follows the path of the East African Rift System. The flyway begins as far north as Scandinavia and Eastern Europe, winding through Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania, before continuing into southern Africa. Instead of crossing the harsh Mediterranean Sea or the Sahara Desert, the birds follow the edge of the valley where there are warm air currents, fresh water, and lush vegetation. This route is particularly suited for soaring birds like hawks, eagles, storks, and cranes. Each year, more than 2 million migratory birds spanning the continent rely on this aerial highway. As the skies above the Rift Valley Flyway blaze with life at the peak of the migration season, the black and white wings of the white stork sweep through the air. They leave the wheat fields of Europe as summer ends. The cooling air signals it is time to go. The white stork is a long-distance migrant. They breed in Europe, then cross half a continent to reach Africa, escaping the harsh winter. In that vast space, the white stork spreads its wings spanning over 6 feet and circles effortlessly upward, gaining altitude with hardly a flap. Soon after the white storks have vanished to the south, the skies over the Eurasian steppes welcome later travelers, the steppe eagles. This eagle begins its journey later than most other birds of prey. It breeds on the vast lands from Kazakhstan and southern Russia to Mongolia. The western population travels through the Middle East, crosses the Bosphorus Strait, follows the Nile, then passes through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait to join the Great River of Birds. The global population now stands at only about 50,000 to 75,000 mature individuals. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists the species as endangered. Habitat degradation, a declining prey base, and human-related causes are gradually shrinking their safe flight corridors. As the Mediterranean summer ends, hot, dry winds begin to sweep from the land out to sea, a signal for a long journey to begin. From the coastal cliffs of Spain, the Balkan Mountains, and the valleys of Greece, the Egyptian vulture, the smallest vulture in Europe, takes flight. This journey follows the Rift Valley Flyway. From the Bosphorus Strait, they cross the boundary between Europe and Asia. Along the Nile, they ride the thermals rising from the desert as if stepping into an invisible elevator. At Bab el-Mandeb, where the Red Sea nearly touches the Indian Ocean, they bank their wings and enter sub-Saharan Africa. This is nature's crossroads. Here, the Egyptian vultures find an abundance of food, carcasses left by lions and hyenas, or the urban dumps that spring up along the edges of towns. Each journey lasts for weeks, with the vultures covering an average of 125 to 250 miles per day, for a total of over 2,500 miles one way. And when spring returns, they ride the winds in the opposite direction, following the same route back to the very same cliffs they once called home. The African savanna functions like a single giant living organism. Within it, the herds of wildebeest, zebra, and elephants are the circulating blood. The great migratory corridors are the arteries that nourish every cell of the ecosystem. Each year, 1.5 million wildebeest, along with hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, leave the Serengeti for the Masai Mara. These migrating herds graze the grasslands, leave nutrient-rich dung, and trigger cycles of plant regeneration. Each herd not only brings life to the grasslands and rivers, but also income to local communities and a tourism economy worth billions of US dollars. From a genetic perspective, migration keeps populations connected, preventing the loss of genetic diversity, a critical factor in adapting to climate change. But this natural rhythm is losing its integrity. Private land fences in the Greater Mara are spreading, fragmenting the migration routes. The Katavi-Mahali corridor in Tanzania is losing its natural cover, forcing African elephants to pass through villages and increasing human-wildlife conflict. Climate change is making the wet and dry seasons more unpredictable, delaying or diverting the migrations. Faced with these challenges, conservation efforts are focusing on restoring connectivity. Tourism is being managed according to ecological carrying capacity, reducing vehicle density and noise at river crossings. These corridors are not mere paths on a map. They are the arteries of a continent, the ancient promises that connect season to season, generation to generation. As long as they remain unbroken, the great pulse of Africa will continue to beat, a rhythm of life as fragile as it is eternal, now held in our hands.